Hey guys, it's Miss Phelps. Today we're doing lesson 1.3, solving equations with variables on both sides. And now remember, a variable is the letter in the equation, which is usually an x or a y. Alright, each figure has the unusual property that the value of its perimeter is equal to the value of its area. So we're talking about these two figures down here. We're going to say that the perimeter equals the area. Write a new equation for each figure, and then solve for x. Okay, first of all, the perimeter is how far around it goes. So we've got x, and then 3, and then this is the same as the bottom, so plus another x, and then add another 3. Okay, so basically we have x plus x, which is 2x, and then 3 plus 3 is 6. So that is what our perimeter is. Now we need to find the area. We'll do that in blue. Area, and remember area is base times height. So the base is x, height is 3. So x times 3 is 3x. Now if the perimeter and the area are the same, we've got 2x plus 6 and then 3x. If these are the same, that means we can set them equal to one another. Now we solve. So if we have x's on both sides, we need to get them onto the same side. So the way that we do that is we take this whole x right here, we've got 2x, and he's just a positive 2x over here, so we're just going to simply subtract him so that we can put him on the other side, and what we do to one side we have to do to the other side. And then 2x minus 2x is 0, so that cancels. Then we bring down our positive 6, and then 3x minus 2x is just x. So x is 6, which means that this bottom part is 6 right here. Alright, let's do this other problem. So we've got x for the height and 4 for the base. So if we're doing perimeter, we need to add up all of our sides. So we've got 4 plus 4 is 8, and then x plus x is 2x. Now for the area, we've got base times height, so 4 times x, and that is 4x. And if the area equals the perimeter, we just set those equal to one another. So 8 plus 2x equals 4x. Alright, now we have x's on both sides again, so we just need to put this x onto the other side. So it's a positive 2x, so we're just going to subtract 2x on both sides. And that cancels out and leaves us with 8. And 4x minus 2x leaves us with 2x. Now remember, we have to get rid of our 2, which is being multiplied to this x, and we have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So we'll divide 2, leaving us with x, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we know that this side right here is 4. Okay, how to solve equations with variables, or letters, on both sides of the equal sign. So our first step is to use the distributive property to get rid of any parentheses. So the first step, get rid of parentheses. Our second step, combine like terms on each side. Remember, like terms are terms that either have both x's or both y's or don't have any variable. Step 3 is to move all the variables to the same side. I don't know why that got moved to the bottom. So we're going to move all of the x's to the same side of the equal sign. And then we are going to isolate the variable. Isolate means to get it by itself. So we're going to get the x all by itself by undoing addition or subtraction. So we're going to undo the addition or subtraction. And then step 5 is we're going to isolate the x by undoing any multiplication or division. Alright, for this first one, first step is to use the distributive property to get rid of any parentheses. In this problem we don't have any parentheses, so we can skip step 1. Step 2 is to combine like terms on each side. So we don't have any like terms on this side of the equal sign because this one has an x and this one doesn't. And this one has an x and this one doesn't, so we don't have any like terms. Alright, so step 3, move all the variables to the same side. So we have 7x over here and 2x. I'm going to go ahead and subtract this 2x and put it on the other side so that we have all of our x's on the same side. So these cancel, leaving us with -5, and that equals 7x minus 2x is 5x, and then bring down the plus 20. Okay, now we can move on to step 4, which is to undo addition or subtraction. So we have addition right here on the same side as x. So we need to undo the addition, which is to do the opposite. So we're going to subtract because addition and subtraction undo each other. So we are going to subtract 20 on both sides. 20 minus 20 is 0. Now we're going to bring down our 5x, and then -5 minus 20 is -25. And then to undo multiplication, because 5 and x are being multiplied here, we will divide, because that is going to undo that multiplication. And that cancels, and -25 divided by 5 is going to be -5 on the left side, and then x is left alone on the other side. So it's going to be -5 equals x. Okay, and to solve this next one, we're going to start over with step 1, get rid of our parentheses. We don't have parentheses, so we're going to skip to step 2, which is to combine our like terms. We don't have any like terms on this side because this one has an x and this one doesn't. And on this side, this one has an x and this one doesn't, so we do not have any like terms on this side either. Step 3, move all the variables to the same side. So we've got -4x on this side and -4x on this side. So to get them on the same side, I'm going to add 4x and add 4x. 4x minus 4x is 0, which leaves 3. 4x minus 4x is 0, and that leaves -7. Okay, now we've got 3 equals -7, which we know is not true. 3 does not equal -7, therefore we have no solution. Alright, we're going to use the distributive property to get rid of our parentheses. So we've got to distribute this outside number in here. So 1/2 times 6, we're basically doing 6 divided by 2, which is 3t. And then 1/2 minus 4, or times -4, is -2. And then bring down everything on the other side, our 3t minus 2. Okay, now we've got the exact same thing on both sides. 3t minus 2 equals 3t minus 2. Because we have the same thing on both sides of the equation, we're going to have infinitely many solutions. Because anything we put in for t is going to give us a true answer. So if I put a 1 in for t, we'll have 3 times 1, which is 3, and then minus 2 equals 1. And it's going to be the same on the other side. So anything I put in right here is going to be the same. So we'll have infinitely many solutions. Alright, 3m plus 12 equals 2 times m plus 2. First thing is we need to get rid of our parentheses, so we are going to distribute. 2 times m is 2m. 2 times 2 is positive 4. And then bring down everything else. 3m plus 12. Now we've got m's over here and m's over here, so we need to combine them. So I'm just going to subtract 2m on this side. 2m minus 2m is 0, which leaves us with 4. 3m minus 2m leaves us with 1m, and then plus 12. So now we need to undo our addition right here by subtracting. 12 minus 12 is 0, and then m equals -8, because 4 minus 12 is -8. 6 times 5 minus 2v equals -4 times 3v plus 1. So we're going to start by getting rid of our parentheses on both sides. So we're going to distribute. 6 times 5 is 30. Now we do 6 times -2v, which is -12v. And then on this side we do -4 times 3v, which is -12v. And then -4 times 1 is -4. Now we have -12v on both sides. So let's add 12v to both sides, and that will cancel on both sides, leaving us with 30 equals -4, which is not true, so there is no solution. Okay, 6d plus 4 equals 4 times 1.5d plus 1. So let's go ahead and get rid of our parentheses. So we'll just bring this side down, and then we'll go 4 times 1.5, which is 6d, and then 4 times 1 is 4. Now we've got the same thing on both sides, so that means infinitely many solutions. How do you know when an equation has exactly one solution? You know that an equation has exactly one solution when you come up with an answer like x equals 3. Then you know that 3 is the only solution to that equation. So if you come up with an answer that only has one number at the end, that means it has exactly one solution. How do you know an equation has no solution? You know that it has no solution if you come up with an untrue statement at the end, such as 30 equals 1. That is not true. And then you have infinitely many when you have exactly the same thing on both sides, like 2x equals 2x.